listening to Homecoming Weekend on Long Island's 88.1 FM, WCWP Brookville, and WXPA Brentwood.
On Homecoming Weekend 2025, WCWP is Strictly Jazz. And with that, we welcome you to Strictly Jazz, WCWP Homecoming Weekend 2025. My name is John Libretto, and with me, a founder of this radio station, the legendary. He's been here more than 60 years. He's been here longer than this station has been here.
Let me out.
Hank Niemark, and we're going to let him out for lunch in an hour. Hank, welcome.
John, hi. And special hello to Jeff Kroll, who without whom, we couldn't do this technically at any rate.
The technology has passed us by.
Well, here we are. You know, I mean, we could say a million things about Steve Allen because the man is a giant in many ways. And that particular song, this could be the start of something big. I mean, as an instrumental, lyrically, it's just an amazing song. It really is a wonderful thing. And you just can't, it just stays with you. You know, it's one of those things.
One of the classic songs. Right. He wrote so many great music. Right. He wrote thousands of songs. Some of them, many not famous, but that arrangement, by the way, Quincy Jones did the arrangement for Count Basie back in 1993 for that recording.
All the way back. God, you know, I just have to say, you know, because what we do is we talk, don't we?
We do.
John and I go way back.
We'll play music
for years.
I promise.
We'll play some music, and we'll play music very, very shortly. But I just want to say that there's something very special about being right here where we are in this studio, because if you're going to, follow somebody's world line geocentrically, this is where we were when we started all this at WCWP, 88.1 now, 88 Long Island's 88.1 when we count WXPA as well, and it's just more than a pleasure and a great sense of belonging to be here, and I'm really happy about it. Okay, let's do music.
Well, 1965, when we first went on the air FM, if you'll be with us, we are here for 3 hours today. Mm-hmm. Our second hour is going to reflect back on 1965, some of the big jazz hits of that year. But, Hank, we're going to go right now to a 1958 recording by Erroll Garner. This is How High the Moon.
How High the Moon. Somewhere there's music. How high the moon is. It's sort of a non sequitur, isn't it?
Well, the high moon is high.
But it works. The moon is high.
There's another song that actually has that in the lyrics, but that's all right.
The moon is high. The moon was red recently.
Right. 1958 recording.
Once in a while. Yeah, 58.
It took them 6 years to do the album. Don't know why it took so long, but there you have it.
Well, you know, they're so laid back. It's jazz, you know.
It's jazz.
Sometimes they do an album in an afternoon. No, jazz. It's 6 years to do an album. That's just one cut.
Right.
Yeah, that's, right. It was 50 to 56. Wow. And they did it on both coasts. It was recorded both in L.A. and in
New York.
New York. Well, you know, I love it. Erroll Garner. I mean, God, you know, it's just like water flowing out of
his famous, tremendous album he recorded out in Monterey in the 50s also. Right. Great album. Right. I think we might have something from that later. I'm not sure.
Well,
I didn't memorize my playlist, but there it is.
Okay, I've got it memorized.
Good.
I tore mine up long ago.
Next up, Hank, really pretty song. This is called Seasons. It's by Sarah Vaughan. The album was a 1982 album, Crazy and Mixed Up. It was Grammy nomination for Best Vocal, and unusual that a jazz singer gets Grammy nominations. Even in the 80s, it was very tough for jazz artists to get Grammy nominations. With her on this album, Roland Hahn on piano, Joe Pass, great guitarist on guitar, Andy Simpkins on bass, Harold Jones on drums. Hank, this is Seasons.
Hey!
How can the genes have come together to make a voice like that?
Unbelievable. Newark,
Which is-
New Jersey's own.
Absolutely. Newark, New Jersey.
Newark,
I
New
didn't
Jersey.
know. I didn't know. Wow. Sarah.
Sarah
And
Vaughan.
it's so grounded in its depth and at the same time so soaring like a bird, all at one time. You know, it's just...
You know, when you talk about women jazz singers, obviously Ella Fitzgerald comes to mind as the best. Everybody loves Ella. Sarah Vaughan's right up there.
Oh, God, yeah.
Absolutely. Sarah Vaughan is right
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the female jazz vocalists, I mean, they're all, you know, just it's unsung, you know. We get a lot of people that do some crossover. I'm thinking of Aoife O'Donovan, for one, who can do any of this stuff and really well. And but the jazz vocalist Nora Jones,
Nora Jones,
God,
absolutely.
Diana Krall, you know.
I think Diana Krall is an incredible musician and singer. You know, she was taught by Hank Jones.
Yeah.
She based her music and her playing on and singing together on Nat King Cole, and she herself, of course, is just an incredible artist and talent. Married to Elvis Costello.
Yes.
And, you know, I know some people who don't care for Diana Krall, but I just can't imagine why.
I've worked with her. I've been there, you know, you just get transported, either recorded or live. I mean, she's really wonderful. I should say, my name is Hank Niemark, and I'm here with John Libretto, and we've been here since 1965, ladies and gentlemen.
Please let us out. No, I'm only kidding.
This is Strictly Jazz, and this is the longest still running radio show on WCWP, and now new to WXBA, I guess, when you think about it. But
Long Island's 88.1.
And it's homecoming.
It's homecoming weekend, that's right. Tomorrow's game, Sacred Heart University.
Yeah.
After an incredible victory last week against Eastern Michigan, sent to Michigan, Ypsilanti, Michigan, to be a sacrificial lamb, and didn't turn out that way. LIU won the game. The biggest upset since Appalachian State beat the University of Michigan. God knows when that was, but having said that...
2007.
2007. Thank you, Mike Shamiri.
That was Mike Shamiri back in the, with his marginal comment there.
Anyway,
Yep.
Jeff will be there tomorrow.
Yep.
Or later today, depending when you're listening to this.
Oh, right.
Duke Ellington's up next. Great Paris concert of 1963, live at the Olympia. This was recorded in February 1963. This is a jazz standard. This is Satin Doll.
Now don't you go away, man.
Frank Sinatra singing Don't You Go Away, Mad. Neil Hefti, the arranger and conductor on that. Hefti, of course, was Count Basie's arranger before Quincy Jones. And the next album Sinatra recorded after Sinatra and Swingin' Brass was Sinatra with Count Basie.
Yeah, right.
Kept it with the big band sound. Before that, Houston Person played the same song although on the original title, Black Velvet. Houston Person was the tenor saxophonist, and Russell Malone was the guitarist who played a wonderful solo in the middle of that recording.
Yeah. Well, that was a great segue, those two of them. And, of course, Black Velvet coming right after Satin Doll. What a genius programming, John.
Just luck.
I got to tell you, John is tireless. He's actually the guy who puts together these playlists. His knowledge of jazz is far greater than mine. Our appreciation is about the same, but John does this, and I hope at home you're all appreciating it as much as we are actually listening.
Depending
to
on what
it.
home you're talking about, maybe not at my own home, they appreciate hearing all this music all the time. But anyway, we're going to stick with Sinatra here, but not by Sinatra.
Good.
We do sneak in, even though this is a strictly jazz program, a little bit of the Great American Songbook. This recording by Oscar Peterson and his trio is from an album called A Jazz Portrait of Frank Sinatra, recorded in 1959. Oscar Peterson's the pianist. Ray Brown's on bass. Ed Thigpen on drums. You Make Me Feel So Young.
Stockings, Count Basie, as we finish up our hour here.
And as we finish the hour, a little more Basie to take us out, but taking it nice and easy until the hour. When we come back, join us for a fun half hour of some reminiscences about 1965. This is WCWP, the post-college radio station, the LIU post-college radio station.
Long Island's 88.1.
Hey, Long Island's 88.1. This is homecoming weekend, 60th anniversary of this radio station. We'll be back shortly. Betty Carter singing us on the air for the second hour on Strictly Jazz. That's jazz is nothing but soul, and that is true. Betty Carter, very famous for an album she did with Ray Charles in 1961. This is homecoming weekend here at WCWP WXPA on 88.1, Long Island's 88.1,
Correct.
and we are here with Hank Niemark.
Hello.
And this hour, Hank,
Yeah.
let's think back. Back in March,
Yeah.
there was a 60th anniversary radio show hosted by our friend Jeff Kroll.
Yes.
And we were fortunate enough to be interviewed on the phone. And the celebration of the 60th...
Zoom.
Well,
We had
Zoom.
you guys on
Well,
Zoom.
you know, Zoom is
I
phone.
could see you.
You could see me.
I could see both of you.
It's true.
Zoom.
And we talked about the founding of this radio station back in the early 60s. We got our license in March of 1965, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And so for this hour, we want to talk about 1965 a little bit and play some of the big jazz hits, talk about a little bit of radio in New York in that period of time. But here's a big question that Jeff knows the answer to. The number one song of all music in 1965 was...
Wooly Bully by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Bully, bully! Watch it now, watch it! Here he come, here he come! Bully, bully! Bully, bully! Bully, bully! Watch it now, watch it! Here he come! You got it, you got it!
You're listening to Homecoming Weekend on Long Island's 88.1 FM, WCWP Brookville, and WXPA Brentwood.
We'll let that go. It's the number 2 hit right there. But that's such moving poetry. Such poetry in motion. As a matter of fact, we have here someone who is a laureate in his own right.
The great interpreter.
The interpreter.
Because when you listen to the song,
Yes.
you can't understand a word of the lyrics. So we've brought Pat Kroll here because she's the great interpreter of Sam the Sham music.
Yes.
Well, let's hope I can read
And
Spanish.
here are the lyrics, ladies
Okay,
and
so
gentlemen.
it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ay, oy. Willy, bully.
Where we are, it's all right.
Getting in trouble
Willy,
here.
bully. Watch it now, watch it. Here he comes, watch it now, he gotcha. Maddie told Hattie about a thing she saw. Had 2 big horns and a woolly jaw. Woolly bully, yeah, drive. Woolly
All right.
What the heck
I think
does
we
yeah,
got it.
drive mean?
I have no idea. But let's talk a little bit about the quirk of this particular song, and
Yeah.
let's hand it over to
Our expert.
our
Jeff
expert
Kroll.
here, Jeff Kroll.
All right. As we said earlier in the introduction, this was the biggest hit of 1965.
1965.
Wooly Bully, Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs on the Billboard Hot 100, which is renowned for being the Bible of hit songs. The song was number one for the year, but never during the 52 weeks of 1965 did it ever hit number one in any individual week. But it was such a big hit over so many weeks that it builds up the points, however they count it up.
Probably sales.
Yeah, and there you go. So it's number one without actually ever being number one during a given week.
But they used to say sales of sheet music, coin-operated, the guy, Andre Baruch.
Right, exactly.
Used to say that.
So watch it now, watch it now, watch it now.
Exactly. That was the scene setter for what we're doing. 1965 was our year of starting WCWP FM. Right. New York radio was very hot in 1965. Yes. There were a lot of rock stations, WABC, WINS, WMCA. WMGM.
The call letters of the stars.
So many great disc jockeys.
Yeah. The curly-headed kid in the third row.
Exactly.
Peter Tripp, I think.
But for those of us who were jazz fans, and jazz and fans of the Great American Songbook, there was really only one radio station. That was WNEW. And WNEW was in its heyday, was a great radio station, and we're going to play a couple of themes that they used as radio themes on two of their great shows in the 60s. And before that, they actually started playing them in the 1940s. From the Milkman's Matinee, this is the Modernaires with Les Brown, the theme of Milkman's Matinee.
When the world should all be sleeping at night.
The Milkman's Matinee, that was Les Brown with the Modernaires, although you know that from the end of the song, the Modernaires are singing and Les Brown's swinging on the Milkman's Matinee.
Oh, my God.
Written by Charlie Barnett, 1936. Wow. Great radio theme.
Right. And this particular recording was made in 54, the Modernaires. You somehow think it would have been earlier, like in the 40s, but there we go.
No.
Now, again, let's think about WNEW, the great WNEW, that island in the midst of all that top 40 rock. Not that I didn't like it. Of course, I love doo-wop and everything like that. But here we have the Modernaires singing again. This is the theme to Make-Believe Ballroom Time. It was adopted by Martin Block, who did the show. It was created as a filler, believe it or not, this particular show, to fill in time between news bulletins covering the Lindbergh kidnapping trial. And listening to the show in the 1940s reportedly inspired Casey Kasem to pursue a career in radio. That was Casey Kasem's introduction to it. He became a disc jockey and to create the countdown show, American Top 40 in 1970. After Martin Block, we had William B. Williams, Steve Allen even, and this show, this brings back such memories. It's Make-Believe Ballroom Time.
Hi, and that was Glenn Miller's orchestra from 1940, the Make-Believe Ballroom theme. You know what's interesting about that? It's a great radio theme. It's old, we know that, but it swings. It really does swing, and I love that piece of music. We never hear the whole thing in the old days, even on WNEW when they used to play the theme, but the whole piece of music is really a really beautiful piece of music.
It swings, as you say, it just brings back so much.
Right.
It's so evocative. And
so, anyway, in place of what we were going to play there, which was WCWP Remembers 1965.
Want to hear it now?
Go ahead, you got it?
WCWP Remembers 1965.
And we remember 1965 because we were here and lived it in 1965 in this very building.
Exactly. And we're paying tribute to that right now.
Right now. And so for the next period of time here, we're going to play some of the big, and they weren't huge in the sense that rock and roll had big hits in the 60s, but these were the most popular jazz recordings of 1965.
Right.
And this was a very popular song, not just on the Jazz Idiom, but also as a pop song, This was Ramsey Lewis Trio in 1965. This is recorded at the Bohemian Caverns nightclub in Washington, D.C. Ramsey Lewis was on piano, L.D. Young on bass, Red Holt on drums. This was Ramsey's biggest hit of all time. This is The In Crowd.
Fusion there, wouldn't you say? You could feel the rock influence coming into jazz there.
And why it was a big hit, not
Yeah.
just on the jazz chart.
That's right.
It was a
That's
big hit
right.
for-
It really has
for
that.
Ramsey Lewis.
You could hear those triplets. It's really nice. It's
Really something. Great song.
Speaking of great songs, and by the way, I'm Hank Niemark, and I'm here with John Libretto.
That's me.
And this whole thing is being technicalized by Jeff, the wonderful Jeff Kroll over there. Thank you, Jeff. We're
His nickname, of course, we call Thumbs, but that's beside the
yeah, but
point.
let's not go there.
No, it's a perfect show by Jeff.
Right.
Much better than us. He's the one who's keeping us live on the air and keeping this moving smoothly.
Right. We're in 1965, and many of us remember that year, including our good friend Ted David. You know who he is, right? He's he goes back to 65, doesn't he, or something? Well,
he was at Post shortly after that, but he certainly
right.
was a functioning human being by
And he's
that
one
point.
of our fans, so that's why we come out to him. And he's sure to like this next song, and I really love this song. This is Jimmy Smith. The album is Organ Grinder Swing. This is 1965. This are all the songs in this particular segment. And the song is called Organ Grinders Swing. We have Jimmy Smith on organ, Kenny Burrell guitar, Grady Tate on drums. Helpless as a kitten up a tree. I got to tell you, as an instrumental, I kind of prefer it over the lyrics are wonderful, but it just hits all the right.
I have, to be honest, I don't know who wrote the lyrics. I don't think it was Errol Garner. He wrote the music, and it's just a beautiful melody.
Well, it's interesting that the lyrics do fit quite well,
Right,
but
right.
still, I just love that
It's a beautiful
instrumental
song. It's
version. Tell me a little bit about the U.S. Air Force Jazz Band. You having been an Air Force member.
I am a veteran of the U.S. Air Force in Vietnam, and I never saw the band, to be honest with you. But they are, based in Washington, D.C., like all the, look, the military services all have great musicians who are on special service. And the Air Force has a particularly good jazz band called the Airmen of Note. And they're just terrific. This album is called Somewhere Out There, and the song is Don't Get Around Much Anymore.